I bet you won't say that to my face. Chances are, if you're black and you're online, somebody has said something racist to you and you've said that exact sentence. Chud the Builder wanted to put that sentiment to the test. Chud the Builder said that to multiple black people's face and has since been arrested. Now I want to play a game of what if. But first, we got to lay down some groundwork. Chud's main MO was to film himself open carrying, calling people racial epithets like the hard R, and basically daring them, begging them to do something. Common response to people who react violently to racism is that somehow there is a lapse in character there. Many people, including mouth-frothing racists, will say something like, "Are you gonna let a word ruin your life?" Cries of free speech come from always, look at me, always come from people who are using the First Amendment, hiding behind the First Amendment to get across some actual world that they want to build. They want to maintain an oppressive status quo. Chud's online persona is an idea. The idea that white men are inherently powerful, should rule, should govern, that they would win in a war between races, that they deserve a country all to themselves, and that their racial lessers should comply with the abuse no matter what. And all of this comes to a crescendo recently. Chud the Builder cheddar bobs himself. And Pew Pew's a black man. So now I want to play what if. What if the court throws the book at Chud the Builder? What does that do really for all of the people that he harassed? What does that actually do for the people that he's harmed? Perhaps it gives us the satisfaction of schadenfreude. Perhaps it makes us feel really good that an openly mouth-frothing racist has his comeuppance. But what about the system that sat there and watched for months? What about the conditions that not only sought to normalize that behavior or allowed Chud to normalize that behavior, but gave the people that he harassed no recourse, no legitimate recourse to fight what he was doing to them? What are you supposed to do when the next person finds some other loophole? What happens when the court says, look, we threw the book at Chud the Builder, therefore the judicial system works, he was an anomaly, this isn't a big problem, we're post-racial, look, everything is over. No need to worry about racism anymore. While ignoring black food insecurity and the black maternal mortality rate. While we still have to file suits for redlining. While 74% of historically redlined neighborhoods are still as segregated today as they were in the 1930s. Okay. What if number two? What if Chud the Builder goes free? It wouldn't be the first time. We have plenty of examples of people manufacturing self-defense in the name of harming POCs, and most likely it being allowed to continue because the victim was black. People were so supportive of the unaliving of a black teenager that George Zimmerman was able to auction off the Pew Pew that unalived Trayvon Martin for $250,000. Kyle Rittenhouse showed up to a protest for the unaliving of black people. And Kyle Rittenhouse has people acting as parasocial champions for him, saying, how is it racist? He didn't unalive anybody black. What if he's gone free? What does that teach us? What does that mean for black people? Does that mean we have to take racial abuse? Does that mean we have to be compliant and pliable if the conditions might exonerate our assaulter? Because right now, what I think is happening is that we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. If someone is being a mouth-frothing racist to us and we nuck because we're buck, the system might absolve our assaulter and say, you can't use your fists. If we take it quietly, we're just suffering racism. The system could very well say, look at Martin Luther King, you have to be peaceful. By the way, racism is over because look at what we did to Chud the Builder. We threw the book at him. The system might say, hey man, he's using his free speech. You better sit there and take that racial abuse because the conditions might absolve your assaulter. What if no matter what you do, you're going to be seen as violent, even when you're not being violent? I say you might as well defend yourself. You might as well send a collective message that that behavior is not tolerable in any circumstance, that you cannot go outside and be a mouth-frothing racist. And a lot of you aren't doing that because you're afraid of being called violent yourself. But it doesn't matter. No matter what you do, even if you're just standing there, they are going to call you violent and then use that as justification for their violence against you. Remember, Emmett Till's unalivers went free. George Zimmerman went free. And even if they had been locked up, Chud the Builder still would have been on the streets. Stay woke. Stay alive.